Everyone in the shelter warned her to stop. That dog is aggressive. He's dangerous. But the paralyzed girl kept moving forward anyway. As she faced the most feared dog in the shelter, volunteers held their breath. What happened next shattered every expectation and left everyone watching in tears. The shelter always grew quieter near the last kennel. Volunteers lowered their voices there, moving quickly, never lingering. Inside that cage lived the dog everyone feared. His name was Titan, and the warning sign clipped to the bars said everything. Aggressive. No public contact. Titan was massive, all muscle and scars, with a thick neck and eyes that never seemed to rest. He paced endlessly, claws scraping concrete, growling at shadows no one else could see. Some said he had attacked before. Others whispered he had been abused, broken beyond repair. Whatever the truth was, no one questioned the result. Families skipped his kennel. Potential adopters turned away before even asking his name. Even experienced staff approached him with caution, sliding food bowls through the slot without meeting his gaze. When cleaning time came, 2 people were required, and even then, fear hung heavy in the air. At night, when the shelter lights dimmed, Titan's low, aching howls echoed down the halls. They sounded less like rage and more like pain. Still, the label remained. Dangerous. Untouchable. A dog no one believed could ever change. That belief shaped every decision, every rule, and every fearful step taken near him inside. Her name was Lily, and she arrived quietly, rolling through the shelter. Doors in a small wheelchair, pushed by her mother. She was 9 years old, with soft brown hair tied back by a pale pink ribbon, and eyes that seemed older than her age. An accident 2 years earlier had taken the use of her legs, but it hadn't taken her gentleness. Before the accident, Lily loved to run. After it, she learned how to sit still and listen. Animals had become her comfort. When pain kept her awake at night, she watched rescue videos, believing broken creatures could still heal. She felt they understood her. The shelter visit wasn't planned. They were only supposed to look at puppies, maybe smile, then leave. But Lily didn't smile much anymore. She studied faces, human and animal, searching for sadness she recognized. As volunteers showed her friendly dogs, Lily was polite but distant. Her hands rested calmly in her lap. Her eyes kept drifting down the hallway, toward the kennel everyone avoided. "There's someone back there," she whispered. Her mother followed her gaze, confused. "That area is restricted," a volunteer said quickly. But Lily's voice was steady. "He's alone," she replied. They tried to stop her before the wheelchair even turned. A volunteer stepped forward, voice tight, explaining again why that kennel was off limits. "He's unpredictable," she said. "We've never allowed a child near him." Lily listened quietly, then nodded, as if she understood. And then she asked, "Anyway, can I just sit there for a minute?" Her mother's hands tightened on the wheelchair handles. She wanted to say no. Every instinct screamed danger. But Lily wasn't begging. She wasn't defiant. She was calm, certain, like someone who had already made peace with fear. The wheels rolled slowly down the hallway. Conversations stopped. The sound of Titan's pacing grew louder with every step. When he saw them, his body stiffened. A deep growl rose from his chest, echoing against the metal bars. Staff members froze, ready to intervene. "Sweetheart, that's far enough," someone whispered. Lily raised her hand slightly. Not toward the dog, toward the fear around her. "It's okay," she said softly. Titan lunged forward, teeth flashing, slamming into the gate. Gasps filled the corridor. Lily didn't scream. She didn't flinch. Her hands trembled, but her eyes stayed on him. "I'm not here to hurt you," she whispered. For the first time, Titan stopped moving. Time stretched painfully long. No one breathed. Guards hovered inches away. Lily's heart pounded, yet something inside her felt strangely calm, as if this moment had been waiting for her all along, and for him too. In that silent hallway, filled with fear everywhere, the growl faded into a low rumble, then into silence. Titan stood frozen, his chest rising and falling heavily. His ears twitched as Lily spoke again, her voice barely louder than a breath. "I know you're scared," she said. "I am too sometimes." Something shifted. The tension in his shoulders loosened just a little. His pacing stopped. Slowly, almost unsure, Titan lowered his head. The staff exchanged stunned glances. This had never happened before. Not once. Lily leaned forward in her wheelchair, her mother's heart racing behind her. One wrong move, and everything could fall apart. Lily rested her hands on her knees, showing she wasn't a threat. "You don't have to be brave," she whispered. "You just have to stay." Titan took a single step closer to the bars. Then, another. His breathing slowed. His eyes, once wild, softened into something tired and familiar. Pain. A volunteer covered her mouth. Tears filling her eyes. "Oh my God," someone whispered. Lily lifted her hand, stopping inches from the metal. She waited. She didn't rush. She didn't assume. She simply stayed present. Titan leaned forward, pressing his forehead gently against the cold steel. A deep sigh escaped him, long and shaky, as if he had been holding it in for years. In that moment, the aggressive dog everyone feared disappeared. In his place stood a broken soul, finally seen. Lily smiled softly, tears slipping down her cheeks. She hadn't changed him. She had understood him. And that understanding changed everything inside the shelter. No one told Lily she could touch him. No one needed to. Slowly, she extended her hand through the narrow gap in the bars. The room felt impossibly still. Titan flinched at first. Muscles tightening, old instincts fighting back. Lily waited, her hand steady despite the tremble in her fingers. Then Titan leaned forward. His nose brushed her knuckles. Warm and unsure. Lily inhaled sharply. A single tear slid down her cheek as she rested her palm against his scarred face. Titan closed his eyes. A sound escaped his chest, not a growl, but a broken whimper that shattered the room. Volunteers cried openly now. Even the shelter manager turned away, wiping her eyes. Titan pressed harder into Lily's touch, his massive body trembling as years of fear drained away. For the first time, he allowed himself to be gentle. "You're not bad," Lily whispered. "You're just hurting." Titan sank to the floor, resting his head against the bars, as close to her as he could get. Lily leaned forward, resting her forehead against his. Two broken hearts met in silence. In that moment, everyone understood. This wasn't a miracle of training or control. It was connection. Pure, unguarded love. And it was enough to change everything they thought they knew about fear, healing, and hope forever. The shelter felt different after that day. Quieter but lighter, as if something heavy had finally been released. Titan was no longer labeled aggressive. The sign on his kennel was removed, replaced with a simple note that read, "In evaluation." Staff spoke to him softly now. He responded every time. Lily visited again the next week. Titan waited at the gate, tail thumping nervously against the floor. When he saw her, he lowered his head the same way he had before. Trust remembered. Weeks later, paperwork was signed. Titan left the shelter beside Lily's wheelchair, walking slowly, carefully, matching her pace. No growls. No fear. Some bonds don't need words or strength. They need understanding. That day, a broken dog and a paralyzed girl gave each other something they thought they had lost forever. Hope that if this story touched your heart, remember this: sometimes healing begins the moment someone chooses not to be afraid.